morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morrow, whatever time of day it is for you guys. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Rosie Reads here. Guess who's back again. Rosie's back. Tell a friend. Happy New Year, guys. I hope your New Year was splendid. I am completely and utterly sorry that I haven't really done a video for you guys for a while. So I thought today would be the day to do my November and December wrap-up, seeing as I forgot to do my November wrap-up in December. And it's now January, so put them both together. I've already set my Goodreads reading challenge. Comment below your Goodreads reading challenge if you're on there. Goodreads is in the description box below. I have personally set my reading target to 34 books this year, because I obviously read 30. In November, I read 5 books. I read a psychological fiction. I read a suspense thriller, supernatural horror, a mystery, and a YA fiction. 1 3-star, 3 4-stars, and 1 5-star. To start this off, we are going to start with The Watchman by Robert Grace. Now, this is about a guy called Joe Pike, and he becomes a bodyguard for this rich girl who is such a bitch towards him. I gave this a 4 out of 5 star. I completely loved the characters and I loved the ending, but the reason why I gave it a 4 star instead of a 5 star is because I don't really know the characters that well, and I realised that this is actually part of a series, so reading this has made me think I want to get the other books of this series so then I can read more about Cole. He was actually my favourite character in an audiobook called Diary by Chuck Palahniuk. This I gave it a 3 out of 5 star. I just wanted something in the background, pretty much. About this woman called Misty, and she meets this guy and they go to this island called Wait and See Island. She feels trapped on this island. She ends up getting pregnant because she's a painter. She feels like her being pregnant has ruined her entire life. On this island, she's really not happy and she feels like she can't leave because her husband is actually in a coma because he OD'd. She describes her emotions due to the weather, today's forecast is betrayal with a bit of dread or something like that. I didn't really enjoy it that much. Couldn't get into it. Third book was The Island by M.A. Bennett. Now, this is actually my first book that I've read from M.A. Bennett, and I actually bought Stags, which is down there, and there's an excerpt of Stags in this. It's basically about this boy called Link. He's American and he has to go to England. At first he's homeschooled and everything, but he has to go to this school to do his GCSEs and everything. But he gets bullied a lot, and then there's 7 students. Your particular categories, like your popular girl, your athlete, your nerd, who is Link, your emo, your dork, your jock, and I can't remember what Ralph was, but he was sort of like a gangster. Those 7 students, they get sent to this island, hence the name, to be part of this experiment, and they don't know about it. 2 weeks, that's what they think they're going to be on there for, but they're not, and they have to work together to try and survive. Link finds out who is hosting the experiment that they're part of, and then after this experiment has finished, they go back to their normal selves. In the epilogue, it tells you what happens to them in the future. 4 out of 5 stars. God, if you are into thrillers and horrors and you're kinda into The Exorcist, you will literally love Head Full of Ghosts. Listen to it as an audiobook. I fucking loved this. It's about 2 sisters called Marjorie and Mary, and Marjorie is the oldest sister. She develops schizophrenia. So please be aware, if you are sensitive to schizophrenia or you are actually dealing with schizophrenia, then please be warned that this actually does have a schizophrenic person in it. She starts to confuse her little sister Mary because Mary's only young and she doesn't understand what's going on with her darling sister, who's usually so sweet with her and everything. A demon ends up possessing her for no apparent reason. It's just insane. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, so I really want the book of November was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. It was so weird listening to this because I kept hearing my boyfriend's name multiple times. The main character is actually called Connor. So it's about this boy called Connor. His mom has cancer. So be aware that this mentions cancer a lot. It talks about how Connor's feeling throughout the entire process that his mom's going through. Her treatments aren't working and he's 11 years old. He doesn't understand really what's going on and why they're not working. This yew tree, why the fuck did I do a video? This yew tree actually comes to life. Connor gets really frustrated with this tree because the tree monster keeps telling him stuff that he already knows. He keeps telling him stories as well. Connor doesn't understand why he's telling him these stories. And Connor is continuously having this nightmare over and over and over again of him falling and his mother falling as well. And then his mom falls to her death in his dream. It did make me laugh sometimes. At some points, I was so close to crying, I'm not gonna lie. I just did not like the ending of this. I hated the ending. I really did. This gets a 4 out of 5 stars. I was not impressed. December. I only read 3 books. I read a psychological fiction, supernatural horror, and a gothic horror in December. I didn't really read that much because you'll find out why I didn't fucking read that much. 2 3 stars and 1 4 star. Audiobook. Well, the only audiobook of this month actually that we're going to talk about is Are You Sleeping by Kathleen Barber. Now this was about a woman called Josie. She was trying to forget about her father's death. Her father got murdered 13 years ago. After her father died, her mother just up and left. And also her sister just did drug abuse and everything. Josie's life, how she is now, she lives with her Kiwi boyfriend. She owns a bookstore and something happens to her mother. Now, flashing warning. Suicide. Go back home. She's lied to her boyfriend about everything. She's lied to him about her parents. She lies about the funeral that she's going to. And then he finds out that the person that she said that was dead is actually alive. He has a hard time trusting her and she fears that she's going to lose him and everything. The second book, the first physical book that I read, was a supernatural horror. And this is It by Stephen King. Yes, I fucking tabbed it and I read it all. I did like a vlog on this. I think this was like one of my last vlogs that I did. And then I just completely forgot to update you guys on everything that was happening. If you are uneducated or you don't like horror, I shall fill you in with this. This is about a demon called Pennywise. He's a demon clown who shapeshifts into your worst fear. And there are 6 kids that come back to kill him, pretty much. But they don't know if it's a he or a she, because its ultimate form is a spider, a pregnant female spider at the end of this, and I got fucking freaked out at that part. Like, I was scared of the movie because obviously Pennywise the clown does actually scare me, but this was creepy. This was like one of the most creepiest fucking books I've ever read, to be honest, in my life. Also, there are some parts that are missing out of the film that are in the book. Like, they've missed quite a bit out. Warning, there is talk of suicide and domestic abuse in this. So, if you're not into that, I don't suggest you read this. So, near rape, I think. Pretty sure. And the last book I read of 2020 is Bag of Bones by Stephen King. Yes, I read 2 fucking Stephen Kings, one after the other, but not straight away. I don't know why I wasted my time on this, to be honest. I wasn't really enjoying it. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, actually. It's about this writer called Mike. And he's lost his wife 4 years ago, and he finds out stuff that his wife never told him. And he goes to this house, which is called Sarah Laughs. I didn't know that Sarah Laughs was actually a place when I read the blurb to you guys for the first time, so sorry about that. Sarah Laughs is being haunted by Sarah herself, and it's being haunted by his wife as well. This wonderful woman called Mattie and her child, Kyra. He doesn't realise that Kyra's granddad, which is Mattie's father-in-law, is trying to pretty much steal her away from her mother. The reason why I said I don't know why I wasted my time reading this is because you're in the perspective of Mike, right? Every time Mike mentions Mattie or his wife Jo, he's always talking about them in such a sexual way, like multiple times. It's not just every so often either. It's every single time he mentions them, he talks about their boobs, he talks about their ass, he talks about their figure, he talks about how he longs to touch Mattie's skin with his bare hand. It's like, why are you being so sexual? It just annoyed me. It just really annoyed me. It just wasn't it for me. It can go in the fucking charity box. Guys, Editing Rosie here. I completely forgot to tell you guys that Bag of Bones by Stephen King has grief and gang rape. So if you're not into that sort of shit, don't read it. Anyway, I'll pass you back to past Rosie. Okay, so bye. That is all I have for you guys today. That is all of the books that I read in November and December. Comment below what your reading challenge is and if you've read any of these books. I'm currently reading 2 books at the minute. I'm reading the audiobook The Crimson Petal and the White. And I'm also reading 5 Feet Apart, which isn't being very, It's a bit, because I watched the movie before I read the book. I mean, it's not any different from the fucking movie. So, that is all I have for you guys today. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and I shall see you in the next video. Stay luscious, guys. Bye!